What if I meditated for 1 hour a day consistently for 21 days? Then I faced a major setback. My reaction even surprised me. Meditation has gone mainstream. Over 14% of the US population have tried meditating. It's made it into sports, the army, school, and even politics. But I bet the politicians are doing it wrong. And studies have shown that meditation can help reduce blood pressure, decrease stress and anxiety, encourages compassion, reduces anger, improves sleep and focus. So why don't more people consistently meditate? It's not because we don't have enough time on our hands. So I thought I'd ask myself that same question. I've meditated consistently in the past. I'm a self-help geek and I'm always looking for ways to improve my mindset. So why don't I meditate consistently? The truth is, I just haven't made it a priority. So I wondered what would happen if I did make it a priority for 21 days. Would I experience any changes? Would the benefits be compelling enough for me to just continue and make meditation a part of my life? Let's find out. Instead of doing 1 hour meditation in one go, I decided to split it up into 3 chunks: 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the middle of the day, and 20 minutes at night. So I just completed the first meditation. My mind kept wandering. The 19-minute mark, I did open my eyes to look over at the phone, like, right, when are we finishing? And then I found myself thinking, okay, what am I going to say in the video afterwards? And then my mind kept wandering, but I managed to bring it back. So the method of meditation I'll be using over 21 days is rooted in what Eckhart Tolle says, being in the present. I'll use my sense perceptions and my breath as an anchor. And I'll use an app called Mindbell, it's on the Android, as my guide. I've tried several guided meditations in the past when I first started. Choosing a person as your guided meditation is very much a personal thing. You have to enjoy their voice to be guided, otherwise it's just an irritating distraction. In the beginning, Jen, my wife, was so considerate she felt like she had to tiptoe around me and just stay away from the rooms I was meditating. Then I told her, look, just carry on, go about your day as normal, because ultimately that would be a really good test to be able to still meditate when there are potential distractions around. So she did. Using an app or some sort of reminder was important to help bring me back to the present whenever my mind wandered. There are many guided apps you can find, like Headspace and Calm, and it was also apparent that having a strong reason for why I'm doing this was crucial to help me keep going when I felt like it was a real struggle, and it was. Why am I doing this? The first reason I'm doing this is the past 3 weeks, I've been getting 2 to 3 hours sleep a night. I suspect it is because I was going through the change. Apparently, it's a symptom. And this lack of sleep was making me feel exhausted, beginning to stress me out, and it was affecting my vision. My second reason, and I'm just going to be real with you, this is one thing I really don't like about myself, is I'm incredibly judgmental of myself and others. I've never said I'm a guru and I've never said I'm perfect. I'm always trying to better myself. And this is one area which I really don't like about myself. And I want to change it. And maybe this will help. My third reason, meditation isn't new to me. I've done it regularly in the past. I've led 40-day meditations. But since March this year, I've fallen off the wagon and I only do it sporadically. And I want to change that. Another reason, and this is unusual for me. Normally, I am excited about going forward, achieving my goals, becoming a better version of me. I'm always looking forward. But in the past year, I found myself looking back a lot with the weight of regret. I wish it was 10 years ago, knowing what I know now, or 20 years ago. That is an incredibly destructive mindset. I don't like it one bit. Because only in the past 2 or 3 years or so am I beginning to feel like I've really found my groove in terms of what I do creatively. So while I can pull myself out of those valleys of regret, I want to consistently feel more appreciative of where I am. I accidentally punched her in the face. The number of times my mind wanders and thinks about status updates is troubling me. And I did for a moment start thinking about what I'm going to say in this video. When my mind wanders, it doesn't stay there for long. It dips in and out. And then when it comes back out again, I just pay attention to the sounds around me. That's helping a lot, listening to the sounds. The birds are quite vocal this time of the day, so I listen to that. And my wife was taking a shower, so my mind was there for a bit. Oh, I didn't find myself looking at the time today. Randomly, this hip hop song playing it in my head. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. It wasn't until 7 days in I experienced the first significant benefit. So last night, definitely slept before midnight, maybe even before 11 o'clock, but it was the first solid night's sleep. I got up, went to the toilet, and returned to bed, and I went straight back to sleep. It's encouraging because this sleeplessness thing was really stressing me out. So the fact that I managed to get some sleep has definitely a noticeable difference in how I'm feeling hopeful. Whiskey insisted on sitting on my lap halfway through. Say hey. I was a bit impatient with this one for the first half, just wanting to get on with it because I'm in the middle of doing some work. I mean, the fact that I managed to stop in the middle of doing some work and do it, that's different. Because usually I would think, oh no, I'm busy, I'm in the middle of something, I need to carry on. Even though I was feeling that way, I managed to stop and just do it. So that's positive. There was one moment when I meditated where I managed to achieve this kind of stillness, and then I felt this sudden expansion. That's the only way I can explain it. But as soon as that expansion feeling happened, I started going, wow. My voice took over. I became aware that my voice had taken over, the ego had taken over. So I then quietened it again, and I just breathing. There was silence again, and then I felt that brief expansion. Again, the voice came back in again, but still just to feel that was quite amazing. There's this noticeable blanket of calm just came and just soothed me. And then a few days later, I faced my first stress test. I hired him to do some work. He was late, and the work he turned in was not what I asked for. The way I handled the situation was very different. Now, just to give you some perspective, about a month before I started this meditation challenge, I hired someone to deliver some work. It was simply creating PowerPoint slides, and it was someone I'd worked with for 5 years. I referred him to my clients even, so I knew he would, deliver the work, and he didn't. This is how I reacted to that disappointment.
You were pissed. You were really angry. You were almost like you were just refusing to accept it, and you were just in total disbelief of how bad it was. You were just really angry, and you wouldn't let it go, because the thing was, you were up against a deadline, and you were up against a deadline because I think you had to give it that day, and you were expecting it, and you were just you weren't like stepping away from it and just accepting that you had to do it yourself.
Yeah.
I was really angry.
Really stuck in it, yeah. Okay, so what I said to the other guy, this is unusable, it's ugly, you've let me down. I now have to spend my day doing it myself. Oh, God. And then I ended the contract. I gave him 1 star and a negative review. I'm not proud of myself for the way I reacted there. This is how I reacted with another similar major F-up halfway through my meditation challenge.
Disappointed, but you didn't have that reaction, that same reaction as with the PowerPoint.
Happy to work with you as before. Hope this doesn't dent your confidence. You're good at what you do, but this is the journey when you start on your own. Sometimes you accept projects that don't match with your style. It's just a learning exercise. Glad to continue working with you. Be in touch in a week or so for more work. I mean, that alone is certainly worth me carrying on. It was a little harder today, I have to say. It was. My mind kept disappearing. One thing I like about this Mindbell app that I use for my meditation is it simply just gongs a bell, and you can choose how many times you want it to gong during your meditation. So in a 20-minute space, you can ask it to gong every minute, every 30 seconds, and so on. And each time it gongs, it acts as a trigger for me to get present. After I listen to the bell, I direct my attention to other sounds I can hear, like the hush of passing traffic, the birds chirping, the hum of an air filter, cracking of a knife cutting in the kitchen. That's what I do after that, and then I'll listen to my breathing. My mind kept wandering. Nothing great. When you work from home, there's no shortage of distractions. And with work picking up, I found it harder to carve that hour aside. Because a common misconception with meditation and mindfulness and being present is you need to go to a quiet retreat to really practice and accelerate your progress, when actually you stress test your practice in real life. Usually while vacuuming or doing the washing up, I'm listening to a podcast. So I decided to focus on being present and paying attention to what I was doing, listening to the vacuum, feeling my hand on the handle of the vacuum. And while commuting, I set the intention to be present. In the time I might typically get lost in thought, but I actively paid attention to my surroundings, sensations, and the sound on my journey. I did the same with running. I paid attention to what I could see, hear, and feel. Which is no different to what you're doing when you're sitting down and you're listening to that meditation app. Oh yeah, and then I faced a major setback, which really revealed to me how this practice has changed me. Because my reaction even surprised me. I just had a call with my agent, book agent, and they just dropped me. She tells me that she can't represent me because I don't have a big following. I know whiskey feels the same. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. But I'm decided to focus my attention on creating something now. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting straight to work, working on something. I'm not pushing the feelings aside. I am accepting it. We're dropping you. Those were the words she used. Normally, before the meditation practice, I would have started crying and my mind would have just really laid into me. I would have gone on to that negative journey of how I'm a failure and what's the point, and that sort of very destructive. That's what typically would have happened. But I'm fine with it because I know this is just a redirection. Maybe they were not the agent for me. That's when it really revealed the benefits of this practice. It's really smoothed out my reaction, especially to negative events. So the alarm went off in the middle, getting up, switching that off and coming back again to sit down and resume the meditation. I found to be an interesting exercise. That's where you're really flexing your attention muscle. The thought popped in my head, oh, the food is ready, and that's what the alarm was for. I'm cooking some dal. I managed to just, okay, that's fine. There was just 2 more minutes left on my meditation. I managed to quiet that down and then eventually settle down to continue the meditation. The ability to do that quite quickly and not let those thoughts occupy my mind. That was good.
A few times when I've snapped at you, you've kind of just remained calm. You haven't really reacted to that. And I am a somewhat irritable person. So usually she's pretty good at it, but sometimes, she snaps back, but like she wasn't snapping back. She's just like, okay, this is not, you right now. We don't argue very often anyway, but like, I think once or twice there might have been a little bit of a bickering session and you came out of it very quickly, faster than usual, I think. While I was still in it.
So this is it. I'm all in. The benefits are extremely apparent to me. But the big question you might have is, will I continue? I will absolutely continue with the morning session. Just before bed, I will just do 10 minutes instead. But here's what I will change. What I do in the middle of the day. I will change it into an active meditation. While I'm doing the washing up, while I'm vacuuming, or even when I'm running, I will say, right, this next 15 minutes, I'm simply going to pay attention to my sense perceptions, because ultimately that's where we get the most benefit. Not when we just portion it to part in the morning or part in the evening, but when we can integrate it into who we are in our life. And ultimately that's the goal for me. So that makes sense. Just like anything worthwhile in life, it's not about the quantity. It's not about how long you meditate. It's about the quality of the meditation. And when you're starting out, I wouldn't advise starting with an hour. That's the equivalent of running a marathon when you haven't even run round the block. I would start with 5 minutes and focus on turning it into a consistent, achievable habit. Because the chances are when you do 5 minutes, you will feel the benefit, you'll feel good about yourself, and you're more likely to make it a 10-minute meditation. Letting go of your past and letting go of worries and anxiety about the future is hard. Letting go of regret is hard. It takes practice, consistent practice. And it's one of the hardest things you will do, but it's worth it. And I found that meditation is one of the best ways to achieve it. If you're not sure if meditation is for you and you want to find out a bit more about it before you commit to anything, check out this video here where I really pick it apart for you, and then you can decide whether or not it's right for you. If you enjoy this video, then sign up to my newsletter. You can link below, my Wednesday Wisdom newsletter, sharing you more insights and strategies and tools to help you bring your best self. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video.